Well, hello and welcome to another late night daily Dominion for me at least. It's still Monday and we have a base and allies mixture kingdom, which is looking really interesting. I've actually played it already earlier in the lunch break, but yeah, this one is fun in my opinion. Of course, there's a bit of stuff going on with Chapel that can be a bit feels bad inducing, but overall, this one is rather nice, I'd say. And it's rather interesting as well because there's no plus buy, as you can see over here. We have like a strong thinner in Chapel. We have also another thinner in the Wizards, where you can see over here, student can also thin you, conjurer can gain you extra cards, and lich also could gain you extra cards if you trash it, it could gain you cards from the trash. Cave Dwellers is an ally that goes with two liaisons here, with Emissary and with Underling, and those favors can be used at the start of turn to discard cards and then draw cards, and that's very powerful to I mean, it's not a super powerful effect, but here it's very nice to have some reliability built in. Speaking of reliability, there's swap, allowing you to exchange actions. Well, not exchange, to return actions and then gain differently named actions to your hand. And this also means that eventually you will get rid of your chapel that you opened with by swapping it into a better card. And yeah, I don't know. The kingdom plot looks like this. As I said, there is no buy. Thinning is strong due to chapel just being around, and utility is provided through cave dwellers. Swap specialist is a village. Wait, let me hide the kingdom plot again. As it can double play actions, but it's also a gainer, and with especially along with swap, it is a very flexible gainer. Then we have an attack in Bandit. It's usually not a super strong attack, but here without extra buys and without any other means of gaining treasures, other than playing a bandit yourself or conjuring treasures, conjuring silvers, I guess. But without any other means, if you don't go for bandits, then you might be in trouble if you're going against an engine that does, because then your payload might vanish from your deck. And yeah, single buy means that we will need to buy each province, and we're kind of put on a timer by that. But I think with Bandit and swap specialist stuff being very flexible, Emissary being strong draw, it definitely pays off here to build a bit. Now, that's already the discussion of the kingdom. I'm going to try to be brief because it's rather late, and I'll go to bed after this recording, I guess. But we can briefly discuss the openings. I think on the openings here are very interesting due to cave dwellers being around. Can do a lot of things, but maybe two takeaways or three takeaways is on the 4-3. I think you do want to ditch one of the estates or whatever to try to hit 5. Maybe with to put an emissary into the shuffle already. Emissary early on, you can get or you're rather likely to get the high roll of then triggering another shuffle with it, and then getting favors, which early on are really nice to find your chapel, find your key cards. That's also why I would open it without thinking on a 5-2. Just buy Emissary, then trigger the shuffle, and then the next turn you're, I think, guaranteed to... no, you're going to have 7 cards that you draw into, so you have a slight chance of the Emissary bottom decking, but still, well, I mean, that might be really, really bad then, but still, I like going for this. On the 2-5 or the 3-4, both I think you just save the cave dwellers thingy for one turn, and then you shuffle into that on turn 2. That of course has the risk of drawing just a chapel, and then you are faced with the decision of just trashing coppers, and that's a bit bad. But on the high roll, we will be able to trash 3 estates immediately. So there, yeah. I mean, if you don't feel that risky, you can also always just do the cave dwellers thing on turn 1, shuffle in a chapel, and be well on your way. But you still have that still has the risk of the chapel bottom decking somewhat. But yeah, that's my opening advice, so I'm going to follow it. Let's start this game. And let's go for chapel and discard this estate. We did not find the chapel here, which is great. That means that the chapel is down there along with the 3 estates. And yeah, I think it's rather unlikely, or it's unlikely enough to find a chapel here that it's okay to go for this. But you might be in serious trouble if you draw this chapel. I don't know. Now, here's the question. Do we go for Emissary here? Actually, now it's a different story. Now going for Emissary might lead to kind of sad situations. But also, all of the other cards aren't doing that much for us yet. Maybe the answer is just swap, and then we buy an Underling as soon as possible, and we can swap the chapel into something useful, and then slowly start going that way. But I'm really not super sure. Could also just be a specialist which has the upside of being able to be a copper by just playing a treasure from your hand, if we so wanted to be. Actually, I'm kind of talking myself into going for this specialist, and we do trash 2 estates, 2 coppers, which is good but not the best thing. We do manage to trash out the other estate here. Now, if we had a swap in there, then we would be better off just taking an Underling. But like this, I think I probably prefer to go for a silver to maximize our chances to again hit 5 now. And yeah, we do hit 5 here with the specialist. We can play this copper again and just go for a swap now. This specialist actually is not that useless, not as useless as it might seem, as we can trash a copper here and gain a copy of a chapel, and that will later on with the swap turn into something better. Also, we go for an Underling. Now, I haven't yet talked about this pile so much, but it would be really nice to get a few students in our deck. To facilitate this, no, not students, a couple of conjurers in our deck. To facilitate this, we might do some interesting swap stuff, also to deny the AI to do the same. So let's just double play this swap here. Amazing, we get to stash away a chapel in favor probably of an emissary. And then, yeah, what is this emissary doing? It's drawing us cards. Now here, to be able to do useful stuff further on, we need to play the swap again. And we do even get to trade away our second chapel if we so want to. That's actually quite the good question. Do we want to get rid of this chapel yet? We have down there an Underling, a silver, and a copper, I believe. And I think I would like to trash maybe even 3 more coppers. So let's, for now, just say, okay, we keep the chapel, and Could also go for some student stuff, but I think I like doing that when we have more swaps available. Now, yeah, exactly. So we do get to. We could also be a bit greedier and buy another swap here, but I think just going for an underling is fine. Now we do have this favor which allows us to cave dwell and trigger this emissary this way. We certainly want to specialist a swap, I think. So let's just play this emissary first. Swap the chapel into a student. So, how do we do this? No, let's just swap into swaps and specialists. That should be fine. Play again. Could also just gain another swap here, I think. Gain a copy of swap. Now we can specialist the underling to just gain another one and turn this itself into another specialist, which we can use to also gain yet another underling. It's fine to just have a few of those underlings for now, and could even think about buying a student, but with swap we will be rather flexible anyways, and yeah, I think we're on a good way. AI is adding golds and silvers. It has 3 silvers and 1 gold now. So it will be susceptible to Bandit, although look at its deck, it has 6 cards right now. We could inspect what the last card is there, but it probably would be alright anyways. So its deck should be like Chapel, no. Yeah, Chapel and those 3 silvers, 1 gold, probably a copper, or maybe I'm missing something. I haven't followed what AI was doing all too much, but yeah, it's fine. Anyways, let's discard a bit. Now we could just double play this emissary to draw a bunch of stuff. That's probably even wasteful, like we don't really need to do that. Could, like I would prefer to play this emissary with a specialist, but also non-terminally at the end of our shuffle. But yeah, probably just cave dwell all the way. Nah, but then we have a risk of just finding copper and silver now. It's a bit unfortunate all of our underlings were on top. Yeah, I think we need to stop cave dwelling here and just go bite the bullet and double play this emissary instead of gaining. It's a bit unfortunate, but it's fine-ish. Or we could gain a copy here, play another specialist for swapping this underling into an emissary, gain a copy, and now we can play this specialist again just to maximize the gains that we have. Gain another copy of that. Great. This wants to be a swap. This wants to be maybe already a student. Now we can twist this to then trash a copper, swap into it. It would be nice to have yet another swap first, I think. Actually, let's delay this tactic for another turn and just stock up on more specialists and swap. I would really like to do this, but can do it later. Let's do swap into specialist, gain a copy, and do a specialist, emissary, gain a copy, emissary once again, just to get loads of favors, and now we can specialist. We could even go for the bandit just to test AI's defense, but we can also just play the silver again to buy yet another specialist. And slowly but surely, we're really filling our deck with all of those high value action cards. And wow, AI just goes for yet another gold. So now our bandit surely would. So it did have one more copper. Or yeah, I mean we have a 5 out of 6 chance of hitting a treasure there, but also AI should be able to buy a province in either case. What do we do here? We for sure want to discard once, maybe twice. Probably it would be nice to find another specialist first. To do specialist. And yeah, that looks great. And now we just double play this. We find another specialist. Yeah, we can. Now we should be able to do this student stuff to go into this student, play the swap again, I guess. Yeah, we can go for more specialists, just maximize our gains. Play this again. Yeah, now we're probably going to waste. Oh no, we're not going to waste all too much. We can just top deck. Oh, this is annoying. I would like to. Maybe we specialist the emissary first. Gain a copy here. Now we play this specialist again. Play this student, and that's now. Okay, this is probably. It was the way it worked from the beginning on. We miss out on a gain here. But I would really love to have a few of those conjurers in deck. So we just gain none. Play this again. Swap a. Now we can't swap the student into conjurer, unfortunately. For now, we can swap a specialist into conjurer. And play this again. And now swap a student into specialist. Probably going to swap back anyways. Oh no, actually no, let's not swap again for now. This is breaking my brain a bit. It's rather late. But yeah, let's conjure a conjurer, gain a copy of conjurer, play a specialist again for an emissary, gain a copy of emissary. Now we're out of specialist plays. That's fine. We can conjure the last conjurer. We can swap a student now back into a specialist, or swap. Probably swap. The answer is always swap. Go for an Underling. We do want to do the Bandit thingy still, so we swap the Underling into a Bandit and play the Bandit. See what we hit. We do hit a juicy gold, and yeah, kind of end our turn here. Now, what does this want to be? Probably this could be a specialist or a duchy. Both sound good. The AI does have 3 silvers and a gold in there, so it will be able to province. But we might be able to gain all of those 8 estates if we play everything correctly. So we might be able to pile out next turn, which would be super fast, I think. I mean, turn 11. I think earlier on I also beat it in 11 turns. Maybe still the safer play might be. Oh, I think I like the specialist. We can still buy a province. yeah, as I predicted, the AI just goes for province there. Now we, on the other hand, get to do some discarding of conjurers, discarding of golds. We don't need all of this stuff. Just get through the shuffle a bit to make some of these emissaries non-terminal. And yeah, I think that's fine. Now let's swap out for now. Let's swap out this conjurer for a specialist and go for this specialist train. Play again all of those emissaries. Yeah, play this once again. Now we can play it once more. Or do we... Yeah, for now we can play the swap twice to get more specialist gains. Play it again and get more emissary gains. Play this again to gain 2 estates, I guess. Do we have enough gains to pile out the estates? Is the question. Probably we do, like my gut feeling says we do. But still, we will need to play all of the conjurers to gain estates. So yeah, but I think we will be able to do this. So we gain a copy of Emissary here. Play this specialist again. And the thing is that we don't really have much of a downside if we fail to pile out here, just because AI well, has this nothing deck going on and is completely limited to this 1 gain per turn. So we can play this. How many specialist plays do we have left? I don't think that there are that many left, but it seems like we have a good buffer. Yeah, let's mix in an emissary, gain, play this again to gain. Oh, I think we might have I might have bungled this by leaving this conjurer there, but we'll see. Play this again to gain another state. Play this again to do emissary, gain a copy of emissary. Play this again to swap into the conjurer here. And can even gain a copy of swap. And yeah, indeed, yeah, it's a pity. I would have loved to buy a province this turn, but apparently we won't be able to do this. But nonetheless, we will be able to finish this off in some style, and we'll be able to buy an estate here for the win, for the pile out, 8 to 6 in 11 turns. And yeah, this worked out beautifully. I think AI also didn't put up that much of a fight, but also I cannot really blame it. That this kingdom is quite the headache to map out. I think key cards are specialists, emissary, and the conjurer stuff is pretty nice as well, but I think you can even go without the conjurers to just rely on the specialist gains. Yeah, I like how we maneuvered the early game. Of course, we did have quite a good turn 3 with the or turn 4, I might say, where we were able to trash 2 estates and 2. No, turn 3 it was, right? Yeah, exactly. 2 estates and 2 coppers. I was looking at hard AI for a sec. And yeah, then everything sort of took off. Maybe the specialist as the first 5 buy was incorrect. Maybe a swap might have been faster there, but also it's not too bad because, as I said, a specialist allows you to just double play a copper and thus enables you to still buy a 5 cost anyways in most cases. And also did allow us to gain this extra chapel early on. Yeah, that was the game. I hope you enjoyed this. I think this kingdom is really fun for what it's worth because it has this stark restriction with the no plus buy, but then also yeah, you do get to do a lot of some fun stuff. And I would say even if the AI had been a bit further ahead, I don't know, had it bought 2 or 3 provinces, we would have had no issue at all to destroy its deck with Bandit and then catch up in provinces over time. Anyways, for today I do have the collage of pianists prepared once again. So if you want to check that out, you can see it here. It's super cool once again. I really enjoy those, and I give you 5 seconds to try to identify all of the 8 kingdom cards of today's kingdom. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now I'm going to spoil the solution, also showing the kingdom. And there are a few ones that are, of course, pretty easy, but there is one that's rather hard to make out, in my opinion. So what I found is, of course, the Lady of Swap. You can see right in the full kingdom view. You can see it not better because it's hidden behind the thing. But here you can see it. Then we have Conjurer, conjuring something over here, and Conjurer. Let's look at it. Yeah, there we go. You can see it here, and we have in the on the table what the thing it's conjuring is the Chalice of Chapel. You can see it over here. I never really realized how nice of a chalice or whatever that is on this table there. Then we have in the background, we already had this on another collage, this waterfall belonging to Sorcerer. Then in the background there is this lady from Cave Dwellers. You can see her over here. Then we have a guy watching the Emissary next to her. And in the background, of course, that's nice to make out, is the stuff from Lich. And now the eighth and most deviously hidden one, it blends in rather nicely, I think is the grass from Harbinger over here. We didn't use Harbinger at all in this kingdom because Underling was always better than Harbinger. But yeah, here in this collage, it does play a role. Anyways, this is already a long video for something that I thought might be short and quick. So I will end it here, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll try to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.